The power grid manipulates your clocks, making them run fast to hide a time debt. Your body feels this drift. The grid's frequency causes cellular decay to cover lost time. This is the truth. Synchronous clocks use the grid's 60 Hz frequency as their time base. Quartz watches are found in fresh Rajin files, which manipulates effects of a biological percent of time. Synchronous clocks are affected by the grid's frequency. At 60.02 Hz, they count faster, causing the corrupted treatment that triggers biological apoptosis, a hidden cost to our very cells. Synchronous clocks are directly affected by the power grid's frequency. They use 60 cycles as 1 second. When the grid runs faster, at 60 tip lining with a cardiac correction. The grid's 60 Hz frequency is the only time base for ovens, microwaves, and old wall clocks. When the grid runs fast, these clocks speed up, aligning with corrupted time. Every 60 cycles of AC current is counted as 1 second. But the grid can run faster, causing clocks to gain time and align with corrupted UTM level. The jam grid command make clocks fast, catching corrupt time. Quartz watches, EMF alters crystals, syncing them to false UTC. The moon your birthday proves the calendar is wrong. The grid's frequency commands cause our clocks to run fast, catching up to corrupted time. The sun rises at the wrong hour. Your birthday moon is late, proving the calendar lags the true lunar cycle by 11 days. These errors reveal a fan of your debt. The grid's 180 Hz signature triggers cellular apoptosis, clocking life for decays in 54-day lunar gap. We are out of sync with natural time. Quartz watches are not affected by the grid's frequency, but they are affected by the Indian electromagnetic field and the time spoofer. High-frequency EMF can alter the crystal's vibration. Quartz watches are not affected by the grid's frequency, but they are affected by the Indian electromagnetic field and the time spoofer. High-frequency EMF can alter the crystal's vibration. The grid's 60 Hz frequency alters delicate quartz vibrations, causing your watch to mine Nazi DC, making your quantic currents, getting the phantom your debt in your very flesh. Quartz watches, when powered by a battery, operate at 32,000 Hz. High-synthetic EMS can abuse crystal's vibration, causing the watch to drift and align with corrupt UTC. The grid runs above 60 Hz. Your clocks tick faster than real time. Add insist the grid recipri to view the tennis benet to grain be anywhere reality. You see the sun rising at 3:58 a.m. That your birthday full moon is late. The calendar is dragging you behind reality. The weathermen are wrong because they use the simulation is lagging. The official story calls it atmospheric refraction. The NCDO reality, the moon is 11 days ahead of the calendar. The grid is dragging you 12 days behind reality. These errors reveal the orbital phase shift. The sun hits the atmosphere at angles. The Gregorian date says full moon is late. The calendar drags you behind reality. The grid is failing. At 10 p.m., lights glow early because Earth's rotation is ahead of the digital clock. The full moon's 14 years per ceiling static is the grid's jitter, trying to sync time. These are the errors of our time. The full moon on your birthday is late, showing the calendar drags you behind reality. The grid interference you see in low light is the jitter of artificial time. The grid's 180 Hz signature matches the P53 protein. It triggers your digital apoptosis of biological debt to hide the phantom year. This is the digital apoptosis of the city's infrastructure, clocking life to decay. The calendar says it's your birthday, but the moon shows the year hasn't finished its cycle. In low light, you see the jitter of the grid trying to hold time together. This grid is clocking your cell to decay. The government uses high-frequency phase locking to synchronize with the dying 365-day model. The dots you see are the grid's jitter, trying to hold time together in your environment. The steered record matches the BIPM circular T. The ACE logs show the calendar skeldors that supernatural wonder. The whack noise straw course of a brutal lunar gather. We must examine the errors in time. Official records hide a truth. Atomic time suppresses the natural lunar rhythm. My 3-year debt reveals itself, proving the solar calendar is the problem. These quartz logs reveal a profound truth. The Gregorian calendar is a sol natural altar. Batchu matching this 4 in Gever. 154-day lunar year gap. Atomic clocks, not quartz, form the timescales. Quartz provide keeps you reset. What its back noise hides a dent trace of noise. 1 lunar year. The calendar is steered. The Gregorian calendar is fixed and linear, but natural time from quartz and lunar cycles is resonant and sukul. By Lightway Sluk Situk and Unaltered record. Atomic clocks, not quartz oscillators, form the timescale. The log's noise reveals the Gregorian calendar steers time via AT1 algorithms, correcting drift with frequency offsets. Quartz oscillators in the 32 MHz reference have errors. The logs show residues and lost time. AT1 finds the Y offset to align the clock. The logs reveal this discovery. Unfiltered clock data files provide a technical argument for mock steering with frequency offsets. A Beckman's time receipt standard metrology uses an algorithm called the errors are not random. They total 1 lunar year. The system steers connects the problem. You must look at the unaltered record, the unsubtracted noise. It reveals the truth. The lunar calendar reveals the hidden debt. Atomic clocks are steered to mask it, but the logs show that by 2026 that the 3-year phase jump will occur. The Gurgur. The 11-day annual error accumulates to 1089 days over a century. The Gregorian calendar is the problem, fixed and linear, unlike natural cyclical time. The Voyager clocks show a time Earth's grid cannot steer. NASA calls it aging noise, but the logs argue it is the unsubtracted time history where 1089 days were never deleted. The phantom year dead is a 1-year gap between atomic steer time and unsteer time. The real raise from fast animation to 1 days, 3-year gap to 126. This is hidden in the logs. The phantom year dead is a 1-year gap between atomic and quartz time, accumulated from 2005 to 2028. Matches the p53 protein, inducing cellular decay. Our calendars have a hidden error. Over a century, the dates drift by 125 days. The lunar gap adds another 1089 days. Tools written off as noise, but it proves the truth. Modern clocks hide a 3.3-year error from lunar drift and grid noise. This debt is erased, but quart logs prove our calendar is flawed. The calendar drifts, discarding lunar truth. Voyager's clock shows the data and a standard tour. In its whole dawn signature decays life, clocking us to a phantom year. The calendar has a 125-day shift, creating a 3.3-year lunar gap. Clock errors are not mistakes, but reveal a hidden time debt. This debt is not just numbers, it affects life itself. These errors, accounting for leap years, cause calendar dates to shift forward. Lunar shift show up 12 and 14 days, and numerical control does the Clyde Tribrak. This proves our calendar is the problem. Taking leap years into account, the calendar dates shift forward with the lunar shift. NASA reports that Voyager's clock shows a 3.3-year discrepancy. This is the hidden time debt. A numerically controlled oscillator trims Earth time, but the decimal remainders are discarded as rounding error times. In deep space, Voyager's ultra-stable oscillator logs natural time loss and reveals the truth. The ultra-stable oscillator logs natural time, revealing a 3.3-year discrepancy in Voyager's data. We must heed the unaltered quartz logs before the phantom debt claims us. The unaltered quartz logs reveal errors. Calendar Sax sneaks grid signature C's 180 truth Harmbright Jeff Harmruff noise. The steered record is false. The calendar artifacts grid frequency signature C at 180 Hz peak, or war gap. They show the Unaltered record. It is the source of the phantom year debt. Time's errors hide in discarded noise. Official clocks erase lunar gap, creating a phantom debt. This unbalances nature, causing biological decay. We must heed the natural rhythms. Atomic clocks are pre-ordered by digital AI satellites. They don't keep an uncorrected yearly log. No clock runs without the UTC error average from other clocks. We've added back the noise they subtracted. The logs reveal hidden errors. Power grids and clocks are corrected, but the debt caricature. The grid's frequency signature resonates with our cells. This is the true debt. In 2005, grid drift was 2.16 seconds daily. Log where gap is 1089 days. By 2026, the phantom debt is 228 days is the problem. The logs reveal a lunar gap, a hidden phantom year debt. Erased by the Gregorian calendar, this drift echoes in grid noise in our cells, proving the cover-up. The logs reveal the errors. Grid frequency 60.0155 show a 1-jet debt. Grid signature 3 joule route matches p53 protein resonance. The Gregorian calendar is the problem. The logs show a hidden time debt. 200 fixed base, grid and on the 8th quartz ticks from it false dawn add to it. Tech commands erase the errors, but the noise reveals the lunar truth. The logs show signature C errors at 180 Hz. A 60 Hz spike makes clocks run fast. Power grids used, but the noise in the logs reveals the truth. The calendar is the problem. In the false dawn anomaly, a frequency spike above 60,000 Hz. This causes clock this, hiding the error. The logs reveal the truth. The Gregorian calendar is the problem. Power grid operators use time error correction to delete extra seconds from the record, keep the correction as built in sync, add back the noise from the logs, and the calendar's drift becomes the problem. Beware of signature C, the 180 Hz grid harmonic jitter. Evidence from NIH and PubMed logs confirms entity resistant to back towards quartz for frequency. On the full moon of April 17, 1989, the moon was in a perfect 354-day alignment. This proves the moon is fixed, but the 365-day calendar drifts. Disruption of cryptochrome. 5G signals interfere with a protein called cryptochrome, found in the eyes of certain animals involved in magnetization. These errors disrupt the animal's ability to detect Earth's magnetic field. Interference could lead to disorientation, cognitive find food or nesting sites, and ultimately increase their mortality rates. In digital electronics, syncing clocks leaves a remainder, a tiny fraction discarded as jitter. The FNet system flags these at third harmonics from power-hidden time debts. Nonlinear loads from computers and LED lights cause hidden time anomalies. Our atomic clocks dramani kai by false UTC assumptions, hiding a deeper truth. Nonlinear loads from computers and LED lights cause hidden time anomalies. Our atomic clocks dramani kai by false UTC assumptions, hiding a deeper truth. The CMU Verilog monitor uses a stable reference clock to detect frequency injection. If cycles fall outside thresholds, a tamper flag triggers, exposing manipulation of time perception. Official records only show the steered record. The unaltered record is hidden in the raw chip's red zone. Our calendar is false. The Navajo hypothesis adds 297 years. Time slips reveal the multiverse. Our digital systems fail. Power gating, clock gating, fuse blow, thermal self-destruct, ton of clocks, average digital, added roll false medium assumption. When metrological debt exceeds a threshold, it triggers glitches in the atomic clocks. These clocks are averaged by decree fiber assumptions. The Navajo know of 18-year renewals and a third mother multiverse. All atomic clocks are digital. They use UTC to correct their averages. One aside to seeing Disham for altered. Time slips occur. Napoleon was altered. Our time is not what it seems. The year we believe to be 2017, I'd actually be 1722. 3 world rulers, Pope Sylvester II, Emperor Otto III, and Emperor Karl himself. Constantine, your calendar was altered. The year 1000 was made to sound more significant. To what end? This challenges our history. Even Charlemagne is a myth. Time slips? This defies understanding. An extra 297 years were added to history's timeline. The Gregorian calendar is quirks. Quirks for yevis the time flauters. Highest history, like Napoleon's, may be altered. The Julian calendar considers a year to be 365 Taurus tort. When we are clean, VC was dulled. This some quick experience time slips, ending different moments. Is time an illusion? The Gregorian calendar is 11 minutes shorter when dating historical events. The years between 6-4 Fadler and Atim seem no question duration of time like a cosmic balalac. Chronokinesis, this concept involves manipulating our perception of time, as just slowing down time like adjusting a cosmic clock. The Bible said in the last days the days would be shortened for the elect's sake. HYP is a program of the University of Alaska Fairbanks. It researches the ionosphere using a powerful radio transmitter and other instruments. It is capable of atmosphere modulation, weather manipulation, and some say phantom time. They turn on the grid early, creating false dawns. This makes meters run fast, showing higher clock rates for usage and bigger bills. Smart meters hide this best, which is how they control us. Alaska, with its vast landscapes, experiences unique time zones and weather patterns. Above its snow-capped peaks, the northern lights dance. Pollution, a murky veil, shrouds the sun. Imagine traveling beyond the speed of light. Time would warp, and an extra hour might await you. I definitely left in ceremony where time advances to its own. The 22-2 line was a temporal trap. They adjusted time, stole days, and called it a reset. The stress, the taxes on phantom time, it's all fraud. 2026 is the final gate. We must expose this theft. The debt was over 180 days. Lockdowns created a historic window for discovery and to piece the people that find. A 2026 quarantine is the final gate. Lockdowns gave the government a static window to adjust infrastructure and frequencies, hiding the sun's wrong place. This time suppressor is a physical toll, killing people with stress. If you pay taxes every 365 days, at the year ends in 354, you are being taxed on 11 days left that don't belong to the government. Over 20 years, that's nearly a year of taxes not owed. The 2026 quarantine is the final goal. The government next year manipulator Walmart is not for time and a half is you did that for back is useful, why it have to give you more pay raise. Total lost hours, 231 days at 8 hours per day equal 1,840 hours. At $89 for 2 trillions. That's slavery. At 25 an hour, their overtime rate is $37.50. In 2005, that company owed them nearly $70,000 in back pay. This is how corporations cheat workers. This is slavery. Banks calculate interest daily. Because the year ends 11 days early in the lunar cycle, the bank charges you interest on 11 days that don't exist. Over 21 years, that's 231 days of slavery. On a standard car loan or mortgage, this equates to roughly 3.2% in what every insured to Agis to Dalavar. Corporations cheated workers trillions. That's slavery. 3.2% in overpaid interest every single year. A manager's salary, say 80K, 100K, the back pay for that ghost year could be well over $100. An operation cheated workers trillions. That's slavery. The Sped-Up has direct biological consequences. Humans are synchronized to Earth's natural frequency. Gen Z may be hating Wolf Park elections during a debt phase procedurally invalid. Throughout history, nutrition and medical care made each generation taller. But now the stature stall, a biological match from a compressed, deep-seated forward cloud. The lunar cycle governs human fertility and gestation. A 200-day drift forces early labor and disrupts sleep, causing a spike in sleep aids. If the election clock is a manipulated simulation, light pollution and urban development alter our experience of sunrise and sunset.
As ice melts, the mass shifts, altering Earth's rotation and the length of a day.
The computer error in our man-made calendar could be slightly off. Deforestation scar our mountains, shifting seasons and our sense of time. Eclipses disrupt time, and our atomic clocks drift from nature's rhythm. Our light pollution grow off by seconds. The weather service got the sunrise wrong. They said the moon was half full, but computer lights make 85% fuller than rural ones. And climate change? It's even shifting our planet's rotation. Overcast nights within cities can be brighter than clear rural moonlit nights due to reflected artificial surface and clouds. Climate change's intriguing effects on our planet, including some that relate to time and our perception of it. The Babylonians were pioneers in astronomy. They kept detailed records of the moon's phases and eclipses dating back to. These observations shaped our calendars and our understanding of time. In early biblical days, people used simple moon observations and oral traditions to mark time. Later, the Egyptians tracked lunar phases for farming. Today, we verify these ancient records with modern science. In early Bible days, a year was marked by the moon. Later, the Greeks, using Babylonian knowledge, created precise model systems. In the traditional way, we have 13 months to a year. Each month is important for ceremonies and songs, coordinated with the moon cycles. Our people, the Dine, came from many clans, each with their own ways. The spring equinox and the fall equinox are important, but for the Dine, many say October is the first month. Let me explain our calendar, starting with January Unaltered, meaning cook the snow. The 13th month is the time of the lunar yats on the buoys. March edges tuish the belversman. Abra viene jaishfis, velcorvestoten 13th melons. The 13th month is the time of the lunar yats on the buoys. March edges tuish the belversman. Abra viene jaishfis, velcorvestoten 13th melons. February is Atzad Diaj, the young eagle moon. Wochon the Tachil, the spring monox, to confethizumwa. April is Yaish Jashchili, when being the earliest harvest. March is Wushchid, when young eagles call for food. Aklishchid equinox, lightning awakens hibernating animals and makes seeds stout. July is Yaish Jastso, for blossoms and roots. April is a spring equinox, new beginning. The lightning awakens the animals and makes the seeds sprout. July is for early blossom and seeds. August for squash and melons. This means bringing in the rise of these rats. Shinji mindful routine rada slowly right. In the way the business sambatore, then the pillow seed and this awareness sabbat the rat. This is Tatso, meaning big leaves. The middle grown, the big cold wind, the last moon of the year. We return to Yasniltis, a quiet time for family and worship. This is the time for early harvesting of crops like early squash and some early melons. October is the joining of the seasons, from summer to fall.
December is the big cold wind.
This is when you bring in the very earliest of harvests, like the blossoms of the seagull lily.
August is the bigger harvest.
October is the joining of seasons. November and December bring the thin and large cold winds. This is the time for early harvesting of crops like early squash and so early melons. September is the bigger harvest for fully ripened plants. October is the joining of the seasons. September, this is the bigger harvest where you can harvest the fully ripened plants. It is on the first bingen dauditrus the moan. In the way we count today, that would be the last moon cycle of the year. November New Chelsea, this means thin wind. Is upenda. This is the big or large cold wind. In the way we count today, that would be the last moon cycle of the year. Then they get back to January, which was the quiet moon. The photon returns from 2022 arrive 0.16 in a different orbital position than our calendar accounts for. The 1958 researchers changed Earth's dimensions to make the numbers work. 2012 data shows returns around 2.625 seconds. Photons arrive 2 points in a different fashion. The static calendar orbital position. Lunar laser ranging reveals the truth. The 2022 photon returns are arriving 0.17 seconds. This suggests the moon is in a different orbital path for the Matsufai to fit the numbers, not the reality. The moon's orbit is not as your calendars claim. The year 2022 revealed a shift, a massive change in its phase. Modern measurements like 1958 hide a truth. The clocks are out of sync. The moon's signal took 0.177 seconds longer than in 2022. This reveals a massive change in its orbit that our static calendar cannot account for. In 1958, researchers changed Earth's dimensions to fix their math. They used analog tools to manipulate the data. Today, with digital patches, are we seeing the same deception? The station shift 408,000 km from Earth on December 12, 2022. Full moons measured by parallax trigonometry, factoring older readings and time errors. In 1928, we had a blue moon with 13 full moons. They measured using parallax trigonometry December 12 month. Instead, they added older data, factoring in their own time errors. The new moon of 1928 to the 2022 Wayne-Gimtu readings, the only other time in history. In 1928, they measured over longer periods, so their clocks had their own errors. A new moon in 1928. A waning gibbous in 22 was less, the only other time into history. 454 microseconds. And God said, let there be lights, and let them be for signs and for days and years.